Good evening. I'm YAMO. Tonight's report examines why Western powers came to view Muslim connectivity not as a neutral development, but as a strategic threat. This matters because infrastructure, communication, and economic integration are not just technical achievements. They determine who controls trade, information, and political stability. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, growing connectivity across Muslim regions challenged existing imperial systems that depended on fragmentation. For centuries, much of the Muslim world was linked through shared legal frameworks, trade norms, and religious institutions. Pilgrimage routes, caravan networks, postal systems, and maritime trade connected North Africa, the Middle East, Central Asia, South Asia, and parts of Europe. These connections were not informal. They were supported by state institutions, standardized contracts, and shared commercial practices that lowered transaction costs and encouraged long-distance exchange. European imperial expansion operated on a different logic. Colonial control depended on separating regions, redirecting trade toward imperial capitals, and limiting horizontal connections between colonized societies. Railways, ports, and telegraph lines were often designed to move raw materials outward, not to connect neighboring populations with each other. Political borders were reinforced to prevent coordinated economic or political action. By the late 19th century, Muslim-led connectivity projects began to challenge this structure. One of the clearest examples was the Hijaz Railway. Funded largely by Muslim donations and built under Ottoman authority, it linked Damascus to the holy cities of the Hijaz. Its purpose was practical: to ease pilgrimage, improve administration, and integrate distant provinces. But its implications were broader. It reduced dependence on foreign shipping routes, strengthened internal trade, and allowed faster movement of people and information across imperial boundaries. Western governments understood the significance of this. Diplomatic correspondence and strategic planning documents from the period show concern that such projects could enable political coordination, economic independence, and military mobility beyond European control. Connectivity meant that local disturbances could spread more quickly, that shared grievances could turn into organized resistance, and that economic value could circulate without passing through colonial intermediaries. This concern was not limited to railways. Telegraph networks, print culture, and educational exchanges also played a role. Newspapers, legal texts, and religious scholarship moved across borders, creating shared debates and expectations. A merchant in Cairo, a scholar in Istanbul, and a trader in Bombay increasingly operated within overlapping informational worlds. For imperial powers, this undermined efforts to govern each territory in isolation. The response was strategic containment. Rail lines were diverted or delayed. Borders were hardened. Communication networks were monitored. In some cases, infrastructure was deliberately targeted during wartime to prevent reintegration. The goal was not simply military advantage, but the preservation of an imperial economic order that relied on controlled flows of goods, labor, and capital. Understanding this dynamic helps explain later developments. After the collapse of Muslim empires, many newly drawn states inherited borders and transport systems designed for extraction, not integration. Fragmented markets, duplicated infrastructure, and political isolation were not accidental outcomes. They reflected earlier decisions about what kinds of connectivity were acceptable and which were seen as dangerous. Why does this matter today? Because modern debates about regional integration, trade corridors, and digital connectivity echo these earlier patterns. Infrastructure still shapes power. Networks still determine who benefits economically and who sets the rules. Historical resistance to Muslim connectivity helps explain why some regions face structural obstacles to integration even now. This history also challenges simplified narratives. Fear of connectivity was not about religion alone. It was about control. Systems that allowed populations to move, trade, and communicate independently threatened imperial leverage. That reality shaped policy then, and its consequences remain visible today. For History Watch, I'm YAMO. Good night. For History Watch,
I'm YAMO. Good night.